Antarctica is spilling ice at an accelerator bet. Satellites tracking the country of the White's mainland specify several 200 trillion tons a year are now creature loose to the sea as a outcome of smelting. The is enterprising up world sea levels by every year, a threefold growth with 2012 while the recent such a evaluation was taken. Governments will requirement to get expense of the data and its accelerator tendency as they schedule next defenses to defend cheap lying coast communities. The researchers say the losses are happening mainly in the western of the mainland, wherever hot water are received by and smelting the fronts of glaciers how cease in the sea. We can't say while it begun, we didn't gather measurements in the sea behind later, explainable Professor Andrew Herdsman, who leads the Ice Leaf Massive Balance Sheet Intercomparison Workout, IMBY. Area agencies include bin flyer satellites above Antarctica with the previous 1990s. Europe, in special, has an continuous surveillance recording departure behind to 1992. IMBY's job has been to condense all the data in a solitary story how top describes which is event on the White's mainland. Glaciologists normally say of three clear regions since they act lightly otherwise of every some. In western Antarctica, that is dominated by such sea-terminating glaciers, the evaluated losses include climbed of 53 trillion to 159 trillion tons per year above the complete time of 1992 to 2017. On the Antarctic Peninsula, the thumb of Earth how points up to Southward America, the losses include rising of 7 trillion to 33 trillion tons every year. The is substantially, say scientists, since the float ice platforms meeting in front line of several glaciers include compressed, enabling the ice over to stream more rapid. East Antarctica, the more portion of the mainland, is the just area to include shown several increase. Lot of the area substantially sits out of the sea and collects its snows above period and is not object to the identical smelting forces seen in another place. But the reached are potential rather little, fleeing at on 5 trillion tons per year. And the IMBY crew stresses how the increase cannot counterweight which is event in the western and on the peninsula. Really, it is possible how an extraordinarily big dumping of snowing in the east fare up the recent evaluation in 2012 done Antarctica as a entire sea less than adverse rather than the fact. Globally, sea levels are growing by on 3 mm a year. The drawing is managed by several factors, consisting the extension of the oceans as they hot. But which is precise of the newest IMBY evaluation is how Antarctica is proper a considerable gamer. A threefold growth now puts Antarctica in the box as one of the greatest contributors to ocean level growth, told Professor Herdsman, who is affiliate to Leeds College, UK. This recent period we looked at the Arctic ice sheets, Greenland was the dominating donor. How's no much longer the instance? In full, Antarctica has borne several 2.7 billion tons of ice with 1992, appropriate to an growth in world sea standard of more than rather than. The newest publication of the magazine Environment has a quantity of teaching looking at the country of the mainland and how it might changing in a heating planet. New testimony suggests wherever the trial has occurred in the history, it can in fact restrain ice losses, as the Earth rises, it snags on the float fronts of sea-terminating glaciers. He's love using the brakes on a bicycle, told Dr. Pippa Whitehouse of Durham College. Dispute on the lower of the ice pack, that was float but has now earthed once again, slows all and changes the entire dynamical against the current. We do believe the bounce, in the next, will be quick, but not quick quite to halt the refuge we've kicked off in presence heating. Sea heating is departure to do the ice too slim for the trial to assist. In IMBY's recent evaluation, the deposit of Antarctica to world ocean levels was deliberate to be monitoring at the reduce end of the forecasting how machine simulations had done of the probable altitude of the oceans at the end of the age. The new evaluation sees the deposit path the top end of these forecasting.